Good evening, folks. My full name is Richard Earl Easterwood. My friends call me Rick. My really good friends call me Easter Buddy. I've been a constable for the past 7 years, and I've had all of the training that's necessary to perform this job. I'm a retired state police officer, having spent 30 years with the Texas Department of Public Safety. I spent 6 years as a DPS Highway Patrol Trooper, and then spent 24 years after that as a DPS Criminal Investigator. Of those 24 years, I spent 16 years as an undercover officer working narcotics cases. I presently hold a Master Peace Officer Certificate, which is the highest certificate awarded in the state of Texas. In addition to this, I am a certified law enforcement instructor.
Thank you. Mr. Parks.
I'm Tim Parks. I've been a lifelong resident of Lamar County, Precinct 4. I married Dara Perry in June of 2003. We've been married 12 years. We have one daughter, Alyssa, which is 11. We are active members of the College Church of Christ. I received my basic reserve peace officer license in 2001. I began reserving for the Lamar County Sheriff's Office that same year. In 2002, I attended the East Texas Police Academy and received my basic peace officer license. I have worked with the Lamar County Sheriff's Office as a full-time deputy as well as a reserve deputy for the past 14 years. I have over 1,100 hours of continuing education and currently serve as a sergeant in the reserve division. I have also been a member of the Volunteer Fire Department since 1987, serving as Assistant Fire Chief in 99 and 2000. I enjoy my law enforcement career and would like to serve the Citizen Precinct 4 as your next department.
Candidates, you'll be given 1 minute now to answer each of these questions. We'll begin with Mr. Parks. Quite all right. Mr. Parks, when was the first time you voted in a Republican primary?
2012 was the first time I voted in the Republican primary. That was when the local candidates changed from Democratic to the Republican Party.
Mr. Easterwood. When was the first time you voted in a Republican primary?
It was so long ago, I honestly don't remember. I'll tell you this, though. I joined the Republican Party here in Lamar County back in 2007. I know with 100% certainty that I voted in the Republican primary in 2008, and I've done so ever since. Prior to 2008, there were very few Republican candidates on the local ballot. I helped change all that when I was one of just a small handful of Republican candidates on the local ballot. But I've got to tell you that I was a Republican a long time before being a Republican was cool.
Mr. Easterwood, if you would remain up there, we'll get to question number 2. What makes you the best qualified candidate for the position of constable?
Folks, I have literally trained for this position all of my adult life. Many folks think that all a constable does is just serve civil papers and provide courtroom security. I believe that a constable should be a more rounded type of police officer and have training in many areas. During my career, I have had training in working traffic and also doing patrol duties. As a criminal investigator, I have worked on drug cases that range from the small street vendor up to international cartels. I have participated in investigations involving homicides, auto theft, illegal weapons, and explosives. I have worked undercover on an investigation that involved a cocaine dealing district attorney who was also a pedophile. And I've also worked undercover on investigations where the target was corrupt police officers. During my years as constable, my experience has allowed me to be one of the best trained, most diversified constables in this county. As the constable, I have served lots of civil papers, but I've also conducted investigations which include aggravated assaults, thefts, and narcotics violations.
Thank you, Mr. Easterwood.
I have been called upon to investigate everything from illegal trash dumping.
Mr. Parks. What makes you the best qualified candidate for the position of constable?
This is something I've always wanted to do, is run for constable and be the constable of Precinct 4. With my 14 years of service as a deputy with the Sheriff's Office and 26 years of service with the Volunteer Fire Department, I have grown great relationships with local volunteer fire departments and other law enforcement agencies, as well as public relations. I will continue to work with these agencies to help solve crime and help with the means to keep Precinct 4 safe.
Mr. Parks, if you would remain up there, we'll get to the next question, which is, if elected, will this be a full-time constable's position, or will you have other obligations requiring your time?
If elected, as your next constable, this will be a full-time job with the salary and budget that the constables have. There is absolutely no reason this should not be a full-time job. I pledge to be proactive and available 24/7, and to be involved with the communities of Precinct 4. I will not be an 8 to 5 constable, working whatever hours necessary at the time, being nights, days, weekends, or holidays. And yes, I do have obligation to my family and church.
Thank you, Mr. Parks. Mr. Easterwood, if elected, will this be a full-time constable's position, or will you have other obligations requiring your time?
I have always